everybody. I'm doing a 60-minute session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read the goals here and get started. I would like you to connect with the Andromedans and share an Andromedan style healing. And can we scan for implants? Okay. Andromedan style healing. And then can we scan for implants? It's two totally different vibrations there. It's almost like two totally unique experiences going on here. All right, I'm gonna relax and get tuned in. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you. Thank you so much for sharing with others. This is gonna be really neat. Where do I begin? Implants? Andromedans? All right, I'm gonna relax here. All right, we're going to start with implants. The first thing I experience, there's a vibrational center here on your third eye, and it's just a very light blue, and it's like a laser beam, so it glows. Like a laser pointer size right here. And I feel weary, and I feel like I'm walking through an ashy landscape. I mean, the ground is covered in ash, like the moon or something. And I'm just one foot in front of the other. My eyes, my human eyes aren't open. It's like when you're really weary and you just don't even want to open your eyes, but you need to keep walking, you need to keep going. So you kind of close your eyes for a few moments and then you open them again just to get a glimpse, and then you close your eyes. That's kind of what this is like. Boy, there's a lot of layers here. So I'm looking at you. I'm also you, looking at you. I'm also representing some persona here that's male, and he stands straight and tall. He has a kind of a lighter ashy brown hair. It's very fine, straight, and he's an older gentleman, maybe in his early 50s, let's say. He has a beard. It's not long. And he has hair that's not long, it's trimmed. He's cleanly trimmed. And he's watching you, and there's something about outer space here in this experience. I feel the vibration I'm feeling is avoidance. You're not working with all your senses. You're not working with all that you are. In fact, you would, in a way, be closer to Earth than you would be to the vastness, which is Earth plus everything, right? All of it. Because you're familiar with being human. And because you're familiar with being human, you don't realize how attached to the familiarity that you are. And that attachment then encourages you to avoid expanding. So like a kid is open to anything and everything. As you get older, you become a little more restricted because you become familiar, and familiar is comfortable. And so going beyond familiar, well, what is that? Oh, great, I gotta start fresh. Like I gotta learn some new skills, seriously. So it's kind of like a psychic senses, developing psychic senses. You're avoiding working with your psychic ability. You're avoiding it. I'm watching this man. So isn't that interesting? We have so there you are in this like ashy landscape. There is some dirt to it. There's a lot of ash. There is atmosphere to the sky. It's kind of overcast. You seem to be wearing kind of a brown heavy cloak, and you're very slowly moving one foot in front of the other with a weird blue light here in the center of your third eye. And you close your eyes and then you just briefly open them to close them again. And it's just like forever, okay? Now there's a man standing here watching you, and then I'm behind the man watching you, and I'm watching you. Wow, isn't that fun? Okay. I don't know why I don't feel like talking to the man. Is he the man? Are you the man? I don't want to talk to him for some reason. I don't want to talk to you either on this other planetary environment. I just want to watch and say nothing. But in a way, there is the need to ask questions. In order to grow, you must ask questions. You must go out of your comfort zone. You must expose yourself. You must ask questions. You must do things that you don't feel like doing. So my behavior is now part of the message. That you're going to have to go outside of your comfort zone and stop being the observer and actually be the participant in the activity that is going to expand you to being truly who you are, more of who you are. Because the human that just stays with the familiar zone, right, of being human, is not being all that they are. They're just being in the familiar human zone. But we're actually psychic beings, and we're connected to every dimension in existence. We are souls, soul bodies, we're consciousness, we're energy, we're everything. We literally are everything. I can sit here in this chair and connect to everywhere in the universe, just as every single human being can also do the exact same thing I'm doing. So I am a representation of the human race. Like, everybody can be doing this. You could be doing this right now. So now it's time for you to learn the next level of your humanness. All right. I'm you watching the man. The man watches you. You watch yourself. And now I'm watching 3 versions. Oh my God, is this like skipping stones? This is interesting because it's creating aggression. I mean, it's really angry in the heart, and it's it's aggressive enough that the fists are getting tighter, and there's just it's like it's aggression, okay? Aggression because of why? Where is it coming from? Why be aggressive right now? Emotionally aggressive right now, just over this. We need to listen and learn more about that because it's connected to an insecurity. It's connected to a hurt or a pain somewhere. All right? You know, mirrors, you can see yourself inside yourself. Like, you can look in the mirror at the perfect angles, right? And you could see on and on and on and on forever in a mirror, right? So it's almost creating that same parallel of looking into, and it's like, how many versions of yourself are looking at yourself, you know? So here you, like, now I'm watching like there's 3 yous, only for this me to also be you. So now there's a 4th you, as the, like, there's a million infinite now yous. How can we keep up with it all? You know, it's funny. You're also coming out from the side and say, I thought we were scanning for implants. This is important. The intention is we're looking for implants. This is what I'm presented with. So I got to go with what I'm presented with. All right. I have to be this aggressive, angry. Like, it's like eyes. You know how eyes get like angry looking? And it's almost like the demon is looking through them, and it's almost like the eyes are trying to be angry and scary in order to intimidate, in order to reflect like this back off sensation. And so there's this tension building, this like back off building sensation. The eyes are getting angry and fiery. So I'm kind of going with it to see how far do we want to escalate it? How far do we want to escalate it? Do you want to start blowing up things in the universe? Like, how far do we want to escalate it? Or are we just trying to intimidate? Are we just being a crybaby inside and we don't want to acknowledge it, so we just want to be aggressively angry in the eyes and then telling whatever to back off? Like, what is this? Now I see. There's another scene, and I am connected to, there's little like buttons, metallic buttons here, and these metallic buttons are like sensors, and I'm inside of a really interesting room. There's something of red glowing light in different parts of it, like maybe they're windows to the outdoors and the environment outside of whatever this is. It's like a spaceship is glowing red. Like, imagine an atmosphere that's glowing red outside. Wouldn't that be crazy to see? And so it's glowing red inside this room, and it's very like spaceship-like. And there's some odd beings in here, maybe 3 or 4. They have really large heads, okay? And they're more rounded. And they have different, there's like this groove that comes along the side, like a ridge that comes along the side into the back of it. And they have portions of the head that kind of bulge out in this ridge. And then their face is a little bit more structured. Like, they even have a chin, they have cheekbones, they have eyes here. There's males, females. I can feel that. You have a side of yourself that is what I would define as bored with the human world and calling out for astral experiences, but you don't want to develop your psychic ability. So that's all that what that's going to do is attract things that aren't going to make any sense to you because you're bored as a human being. Well, why don't you challenge yourself and develop psychic ability? And that is going to become the next big thing for you. Like, that is going to be exciting. That is going to give you the power to go wherever you want and have whatever experiences you want. Versus this is more like, I'm bored, so I'm going to vibrationally attract something that is going to spice things up. However, spicing things up is going to oftentimes attract not what you're looking for. It's going to attract, it's like, oh, you want to spice things up? Is that what you want? Because oddly enough, we are more attracted to problems, like drama or issues that complicate our life and make us miserable, than attracting. I'm already getting information about this. Is here? Let's talk about a comparison, okay? We're attracted to angels, right? Why is it so hard to connect with our angels, to work with our angels? We want that experience. High vibrations of love are silent. When you're a truly loving person, sometimes it takes a very long time to see the outcome of all of those loving deeds. It could take a whole lifetime. Whereas if you're a jerk, you get the outcome right then and there. You get to piss people off over and over and over and over again as much as you want, and you get a very quick fix. Whereas love is long time, and it's patient, and it's seeing the bigger picture, and it's understanding, and it's struggling with the understanding. That's love is hard. True love is hard. But the illusion, the manipulation, the deception, the drama is quick and annoying, and it's full of emotions, and it gives us reasons to complain, and now we're the center of attention, and blah, blah, blah. Life isn't boring anymore. So we're going to attract that, a good story, right? And then I keep trying to talk to my angels. I keep trying to work with them. I don't know what they're saying to me. I don't even know where they are. I feel like nothing is happening. Boring, right? So here you are. I'm supposed to continue to acknowledge that we are still in the same space. I watch you, you watch the man watches the you on this planetary space, okay? And then I watch all of these yous, okay? Simultaneously, I'm looking now at you, another you, in this strange spaceship with these beings. I want to say there's 3, 1 female, 2 males, okay? And you're in a chair and you've got these discs on your temples, okay? And you want this. What is it that you want here? Do they even, like, are they even sure how to, what is it that you actually want here? You want a challenge in your life, but the one challenge, which is to develop your psychic ability, is not what you want. You would rather something happen to you to give you something interesting to think about and deal with. But to build a skill is not what you want to do. I mean, this is coming up for a reason. This conversation is happening for a reason, just like this for a reason. And it has to be discussed. It has to be presented like this for a reason, because they're really saying you need to start developing your psychic ability. They're really saying this. You really need to think about this, weighing the sides here. Ask yourself the question, am I bored? Am I bored? I think a lot of us could say yes to that, right? But ask your heart, like, is it possible that I'm bored and I'm kind of reaching out for some weird astral visitors and some weird events just to make things interesting? Am I bored in that way? What if I'm doing this as an avoidance to something else I could be doing? Instead of being the observer or the attractor of drama or problems, I could be actually the solution. And I could be facing something that makes me feel very insecure, which is, what would make you feel insecure about developing psychic ability? Some people say, I don't want to develop psychic ability because I don't want to not be able to do it. I don't want to try, and then I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed of myself, I feel stupid. So we're avoiding these emotions. Why? That's the juicy stuff why we came here. That's better than drama. Feeling ashamed is better than feeling like someone's messing with your life and now we have a reason to fight back. What would you rather have, a fight or shame? Embarrassment, stupidity. Fight makes you feel like you're in control, makes you feel like you have something, but you attracted the problem in the first place. You attracted the reason to fight in the first place. You are the weak one here. Is shame a weakness? Or is it a clearing of some sort? A strengthening energy? Is shame actually a weakness, or is it a tool to become stronger? Actually true to oneself. If you can overcome shame to work on this ascension, really is what it is. You're ascending beyond just the human basics and going to the next level of human. You're ascending to the next level of human. And there is going to be shame involved in it and feeling stupid and wondering what I'm doing. And that's ego that you're breaking down. You're breaking down ego. Ego doesn't want you to do that. Ego doesn't want you to work on psychic ability. That's why you're saying, well, I don't want to be stupid and feel blah, blah, blah. That's ego coming up with excuses. So let's go attract an event that's going to move boring out of the picture and create an event that could be hard to deal with, but give you something to talk about. The human race, like this is why Jerry Springer exists, Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. This is all right. You need to really be aware that you're doing this because there's a really weird looking guy here now. I don't like this, to be honest. All alarms are going off here, okay? This isn't good. This thing is white skin that is like stretched, and he doesn't look like those three. Those three have a bluish color to their skin. He has very white, and there's a ridge that comes like a cheekbone, and his face is more wide, okay? But he has really scary looking eyes. In my opinion, they like glow red, like the outdoors. You know what you could say? He doesn't look like this. You know, in Star Wars, when he's going to visit Jabba the Hutt, and there's that guy that meets him at the giant door, and he's got the little sharp teeth, and he has the white skin, and he has those like things hanging down like hair or whatever, but they're like little parts of his skin. He kind of has that type of, like, if you were around him, you would see that he is very creepy looking, you know? And he's creepy looking, and he's gonna start messing with your third eye, all right? You want this though, like I feel you are saying, yes, please. Yes, please. He's gonna do more than mess with your third eye. He really likes to listen to, he's very talented at hearing vibrational sounds, vibrational cues, and what vibrations he could feed off of that you emit are like juicy, yummy, tasty. And particularly your sacral chakra energy, he's already getting in position, and there's a sexual thing that he's, it's like he can alter his energy patterns and the way that he tunes in and connects. My guides are telling me there's something interesting about this, and they're wanting me to, this is another concept, because these things have been on the sides of your head, and those three beings were there, right? And there's something activated that is actually basically messing with your mind. And what projects out is this thing. This thing then becomes your teacher. You asked for this. You wanted this. So this is your own creation. They didn't create it. They just put these on there. You're asking for something, so they came and they put these things on there so you can receive what you wanted. And now you are getting what you want, which is this gross thing is your creation. So it's complete a hologram. It's a hologram thing. And this hologram thing is then a projection of yourself, a gross you that you want to defile yourself in order to create meaning in your life. I'm going to tell you this is freaking fascinating, so thank you so much for this. Okay. All right. Like, no judgment here, okay? No judgment at all. Okay. Yes, you say, yes, I want this. So the hologram now is morphing his body to be, and he always stays with that white kind of skin. It's almost, I don't have anything to really compare it with. It's just like a stretched white, it's not human looking skin at all. And he's giving you pleasure, so he's vibrationally creating something that feels good for you, okay? And it's for your sacral chakra, and you are like, he is a projection from within your dynamic that has created this then now to give back to you. But the problem with doing this, it's separating you from yourself in a way that is going to create because this thing now has become a separate entity, is also you, is a hologram, could be turned off, but is training your vibrational centers to behave differently towards yourself, which is trying to take from yourself. Yourself is parasiting off of yourself, altering your vibrational centers to give to something that now has become external from you that was always a part of your own consciousness. Do you see why this is a problem? Because you don't want to work on your psychic ability? Is that it? Human world's boring. Okay. I feel that as he activates the sacral, it feels really good, but it's also very draining. And I feel that you're becoming paler, and you're becoming like they're kind of paralleling this to like a, I don't know, wouldn't know for sure, but it is like a drug in a way. It's great for a certain period of time, but then there's this like after effect where you just feel like it's actually horrible to feel it. It's like you're an observer of yourself in your own body that is lifeless, and you want this to stop, but it won't ever stop. And you just let it happen then again and again, because the only way you can feel alive is to keep doing this forever. Because you can't cope with the state of the after. The after might as well be a living dead state, and you'd rather feel alive, so you just go back to that. You just keep feeding off of that. It's an addiction. It's I don't know how this. It's incredible, to be honest. Who are these blue beings that are doing this? It's a technology that works with your mind. And this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. And I can't even imagine the type of learning your soul can receive from doing that. But what is the purpose? Because it's not about the moment, because it's about the bigger picture. It's always, obviously we live in the moment, but everything is the bigger picture. Everything always is the bigger picture. So in a way, maybe you're attracted to this in order to separate yourself in this unique way, in order to go through this odd phase of reality, in order to lose your complete self and identity to this. And then at some point in time, because at some point in time something will shift and you will decide you don't want this anymore, only to then what? What comes next? That's the point of it. That's always the point of it. Is always the bigger picture. I don't see this stopping. Like, I just see this continual thing, and it's depressing to watch. It depresses me. It's like, just, I don't know why I see a horse that's got a broken leg and the farmer goes out and shoots the horse in the head to put it out of its misery. And I hear the words, just put him out of his misery, and the heads shake and say, no, he will decide. He decides. Nobody puts you out of your misery. You decide to put yourself out of your misery or choose a different path. You decide. I feel so flippin' depressed. I don't even know what to say. That's the next state. Is this, I feel depressed. That's the next state. That's part of the path. Implants. Human beings seem to think implants are like actual, like, I'm a sneaky jerk and I've got an astral thing that I'm going to put into your energy field, and it's just going to stick there, and then it's going to do whatever I want. It doesn't work like that. Nothing sticks to your energy field because your energy field is free. Now, what is it that you're asking for? You're asking for an event, a problem, you're asking for a challenge, you're asking to be part of a learning group. Some souls come here, they're part of groups. They choose to incarnate here, and then their family in another part of the universe or whatever goes into their energy field and puts stuff there in order to send back information, and it's completely like harmonious and benevolent. So it's for learning purposes, study. There's really nasty, gross energies that you would want to be working with, right? In order for those nasty energies to put anything that would stick in your energy field. And so, like, what is it like I'm supposed to like take that and remove it from your energy field. It's an infinite space. Your energy field is an infinite space. It's not like you look at somebody and their energy field is their body, and then it's like just this thick or something, you know, like, or it's just as wide as your physical body. No, it's literally an infinite space. We don't even know what's on the other side of the universe. Your energy field is that. It's huge. It's enormous. Where are they going to put it? Where does it go? So this whole concept of implants, it can exist, but I feel the human mind doesn't really know how to understand the energy world because we don't work with it. We work with our physical reality, the rules of the physical world, and so we believe the energy world parallels this human world, and it doesn't. We need to learn how to parallel more with the energy world. Because that's balance, that's understanding energy and love and ourself and our relationship with avoidance, our emotions, shame, growing, resisting, the bigger picture, you know, the moment, addiction, like all this stuff, you know. So when you're asking me to look for implants, implants is an interesting word. So vibrationally, I am opening the door and saying, show me. Guides, higher self, angels, show me implants in your energy field. If there are that are important for you to be released from at this time. There may be implants I'll never know about and nobody will ever know about for a million lifetimes. And that's perfect because we're not meant to know about those, you know, that it's just everything is exactly as it needs to be. So interestingly enough, what are implants made out of? Energy. What are we made out of? Energy. What are emotions made out of? Energy. If you take a bone in our physical reality, that's definitely a bone, right? Now, if you were to expand time and space, that bone is now an infinite universe of energy. You know, I mean, that's seriously the reality. Okay. Now, I find it interesting that when I say show me implants, I am shown this. And this is all energy. All right, so we're looking at implants and we're looking at energy and we're looking at all this stuff, right? Let's see where we're at with everything. I'm gonna just stay here for a little bit longer because I do want to tune into the Andromedans. There may be an interconnectedness to why you're thinking Andromedan healing and looking for implants, okay? There may be an interconnectedness here. You're asking me to please shut this off with the things, these little buttons here on the side of your temples to please shut this off. And you're kind of angry at yourself. Kind of feel like you're letting yourself down. I say tell them that. Tell these blue beings that it's what you want. Because it's up to you. What is it that you want? Oddly enough, they've been gaining something from this experience, so now they are challenged to be okay with you saying, I'm done now. Because they're a part of this now too. So they have to decide if they're now done as well. I touch each one of their hearts and remind them of what a gift this has been for you both, and that it's safe to reach a point where we can take what we've got here and move on to the next thing. No attachments. They're not very nice about it. Because you were open, they had so much to gain from this. You were gaining something from this. Now you are done. they don't want you to be done because they want to keep going. And so they're not very nice right now about this. I tell you, you have the power. I'm just the middleman. So I want you to tell them yourself. You say, but I can't. I'm captured. I am under this thing. You know, I'm not able to, I have no power over myself. They have power over me. I have no power over myself. Therefore, I can't tell them. I say, is that true? You have no power over yourself? Is that true? That's where you're wrong. That's where these alien implants are wrong. We all have power over anything energy world related. We have power. This is still an astral reality. This isn't the physical. You have power to say, I'm done, see ya, disappeared, gone from that dimension, never need to go back. Because you can alter your vibration. If that's their incarnate reality, now that's different, right? If they're working with your astral body, now we bring all that information back to you and you aren't working with them anymore. So nothing they do will ever stick or attach or create anything with you. It won't work. This is important because this is a part of the process. Oh man. Oh. It's very emotional. And you're really angry at yourself. And you're mad at yourself. It's not like you're aggressively up against anybody but you. So now your aggression is towards yourself. You're mad at yourself, okay? And oh my God, is it ever emotional? It's very emotional. Exhausting. I feel like we're blending the realities of that mirror with you looking at the man looking at the you, all that. Something is blending more with this because we're going to get caught up with a you that's very tired walking forever, right? We're going to catch up with that you with the blue, like glowing spot there. That you looks weird. Like, very skinny, where the nail is, the finger is fat and plump, like with a very narrow nail that's kind of long and sharp, like a talon in a way, but it doesn't curve quite like that. It is sharp. The skin is also white, and I don't know how to describe that texture. You are beefier looking. And you're not kind of bloated looking in a way. It's very exhausted. You won't ever stop walking. You won't ever stop being in motion. I say go to that you. If you can't get yourself out of this with these blue beings, then go to that you. Go to yourself. You are trying, but you feel like you're not allowed to. And when you try to get to that you run into the man, okay? This man is very uncomfortable to look at. Because now he turns his head and looks at you, and his face is not what you would expect. I expected something more human, but beneath, it's almost like he's got an outfit, like a costume on, because part of the costume is ripped here, and his face glows like this bluish color that's moving, and then there's black in between the blue, and it's just always moving, and it is an energy being. And I will say there's a technology about it, and there's something that is uncomfortable and scary about it. Like, it's startling, and it's like scary feeling, okay? I tell you to just keep looking at him. He's trying to create this, the man is trying to create echoes in different directions to get you distracted and alter your brain waves. So you're thinking in different directions. You're actually still going through the system here. These buttons on your temples, you're still going through it. This is part of that. This is also part of that. This being is also a projection. You're up against yourself. He's also a hologram. How are you ever going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? If everything you run into is yet again a hologram of yourself that in a way is somehow more powerful than you, how could you be more powerful than yourself? So what you is left behind, the weakest, most insecure part, and then what projects out is something that is more collected, more put together, more powerful, more manipulative, more intimidating, more intelligent, more crafty, clever, but it's still you. I don't know why I say this, but I say, eat him. Like, he's you. Just stuff him in your mouth and swallow him down. Like, put him back in there. Just put him back in there. It's kind of what I'm making a funny way of putting him back in yourself. Just put him back where he goes. Maybe that will help you to realize that this projection is already within. You need to just remind yourself that it's inside of here and not out there. And you don't need to be intimidated by yourself, do you? That's interesting. If you were to meet a more intimidating version of yourself, what would you do? Back down from yourself? Could that be like this whole conversation about, oh, I don't want to work on developing psychic ability because I don't want to feel stupid. So then what part of yourself is more intimidating? The part of the stupid you that's going to screw it up? That's the projected future that you want to stick with, and you don't want to be the stupid you? So then what is more powerful than yourself? Something beneath yourself is more powerful than you. That's not good. But this seems more stronger, more intelligent, more capable. So that you then would be the stupid you, and it would be the you that has it figured out. Really interesting. You're learning though, and you're listening, and you're contemplating, moving, remembering this, remembering that it's all within yourself. It's all within you, and bringing you back to who you are, which is a strong persona. Very strong. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're not going to be afraid of yourself. It's creating emotion. I feel really cold all of a sudden and shivery. Like I just got like whoa, I understand. And a million years just go, and time and space and my cosmic self and all that I am and source and everything that is timeless and time stopped and eternity and very long periods of time. Like, I don't know what it is, but it all in one moment happened. And you're consuming yourself. It's kind of interesting, but I see like like a picture, like images of you bring, like a infinite snake of selves, bringing them back into you, breathing them back in. It's not about eating it, it's about breathing it in. That's the best way to put it. Breathing it back into yourself. That's kind of amazing, really, the way this feels. You're still not able to get to that one. Why are you not able to get to that one? I'm gonna go project. No. They tell me not to. I'm standing alone now where the man was. And it's eerie. It's silent and it's creepy feeling, okay? I'm gonna absorb in exactly this creepiness. Just absorb it in order to understand why it's like this. Because I'm in a thin, flat line. I'm in like an infinite wall that is as thin as, like, you could draw with your pencil a line, but let that line, turn it vertically, and then let that go on forever in every direction, above, below, right to left, now exist inside that thin, flat line of forever. And it's a trap, this place. But it's also a sanctuary. It's also an isolation. It's separation that feels good. It's also beautiful. It's also addicting. Why would I ever want to leave this gift of a world that is my world, my space? That I can exist here, I and I alone can exist here. And I can be my own God in this world, that I am God in this world, like I am all in this world. I control this world. Boy, it's giving me a headache. This is really working your third eye. And now I see a strange event, and it is, you're being dismantled. Literally like you're made out of Lego blocks, and it's just like, and you're being dismantled. And you are allowing yourself to be dismantled. Because in a way, you yourself won't leave this place, so you need an event to remove you from it. Otherwise, you're never going to leave. Interestingly enough, it's you that removes yourself from this space. You come to yourself, remove yourself from this space, as you did, didn't you? Because you projected to the you that was slow on that planet. And in order to get to him, you had to face the man, which was yourself. Absorb that energy back, which brought you to a cosmic awareness, to be in that space, to understand why you were in that space. You came to dismantle yourself, remove yourself from that space so you could return to yourself. Some emotion. I can feel it in my sacral chakra. Now we're slowly, it's like moving this way, this way, this way, and around, round, round, round. And we're slowly moving into that self. He's very odd looking, like he does have hair. It's very thin, so it's quite bald because they're so thin. All right. And it just very thin wisps. He is very heavy set, like chubby looking thing. And he does have a face with eyes and nose and mouth. But he's kind of ogre looking. He's kind of a monk, like wearing this monk outfit that is like, if you saw the face beneath this, you would see an ogre-y looking thing there. I don't know whether to define him as a holy man. He's saying something like he's walking the energy lines on this planet. I'm still not sure what the purpose of it is, other than to walk these energy lines and to be a part of that energy. So he's walking energy lines on this planet. Say, but you're so tired. He says, what? And I show him what I was seeing. Say, you've been forever here walking these lines. I mean, you're forever walking and your eyes are closing and then opening slightly to close again. It's like you're sleepwalking. I mean, this is forever. He's confused. He says, what? Like, he's confused by time. He's confused because this in his mind has only been a few minutes, but it's actually been like undefinable amount of time, to the point that it's unbelievable. It's like a Twilight Zone event. He doesn't know how to cope with this because he's waking up, he's hearing, and he's realizing, and he doesn't know how to cope with this realization. And I show him this you with the buttons on the temples and the blue beings. And I say, this you went into this experience, called in this experience, and now we're slowly bringing it all back to himself, which brings us to you as the last one to come back. You need to go back to yourself. He says, oh yeah, that's right. I remember. And he shows me how, where we would see the present, he's actually, I mean, how do I want to explain time here? I don't know how to define it, because as soon as I want to say he's the future, then I say he's the past, then I say he's the present. And so it's like, I can't define time here in a linear fashion, okay? But he shows me that there's an event where a part of himself goes, and he is a projection of that part of himself. But this was important that he did this, that you got bored in this time, okay? Had this calling out, bring in the support, right? In order to have, that's why we have to look at the bigger picture, yeah? So we look at the bigger picture in order to understand why you're attracted to this. Are you bored as a human being, or are you avoiding psychic development, or is this like creating the next bigger picture of your soul's growth and development? Maybe you needed to be bored and avoiding the psychic development in order to create this new domino effect, okay? So he says, in this time, you call this event into place. Now, through the help of these beings, you projected yourself infinite numbers of times into infinite realities in order to continue what is another level of incarnate states. And he's kind of disappointed that you're choosing to wake up and pull all this back inside of you, because he's not ready yet. And he didn't want this to happen. He wanted to stay there forever, basically. Just like that one that was in the flat line, he was never going to leave unless he was dismantled. And it took you to dismantle yourself and bring it back to yourself. And this you is another one that has to come back to you, but he's been existing. This holographic projection has been living lives, has been living a life experience, absorbing meaning. Now bringing it back to yourself in this chair on the spaceship with the glowing red world and the blue beings. And he's really sad because he's going through a death experience in eternity. In eternity. He's dying now. And he's coming back to you as though he never existed. And that creates grief. All these selves are coming back to you, and some of them have been incredibly talented and gifted and doing things which you wanted to experience something better, something more than yourself. So you split up into lots of many more versions of you, better versions of you, okay? Holographic experiencing realities to give back to yourself. What exactly? Now you're pulling it all back in just to come back to the same you you've always been. So did it ever happen? Did that ever happen? You don't want to wake up. We're back to the chair with the buttons and there's nothing else for you to do. And you know that you're back to yourself and that you can open your eyes now and that you can stand up and you can be done with this experience. I almost said experiment. And so experience and experiment are kind of blending words here. You don't want it to stop. Come back to the same you that wanted this in the first place. And now you're again returning to, I'm bored of life and I don't want this to stop. Oh my God. No. You're literally coming straight back. Like meteor hits the planet. You're coming straight out of slingshotting out of that space back into your body. You're done with that. You're done with that. All of that, you're done with that. That whole thing is over. That whole thing is over. And you're back in your body. Was that to give you more meaning? Did it take the meaning away? Did it bring you back to where you started? What was the point of that? Was there any point of that? Are you okay being back to yourself again? There's always meaning to everything, and nothing is ever forgotten in the infinite universe. However, I will say everything comes back to the exact moment where you left. You are only returning to that moment as though that whole event just never happened. So now what? What do you want now? Dang, that totally shifted your energy field like nobody's business. Oh my God. Was that an implant or was that an event you needed to be aware of? We needed to bring you back to yourself. We needed to come back to this. I mean, is that an implant? Is it an event? Is it an astral experience? That is a part of your energy field. That's a part of your dynamics. That is a part of you. But bringing you back to yourself, removing you from that space, bringing you back to you, bringing you back to now, is catching you up with yourself and giving you the opportunity to ask yourself, do I want to do that again? Or do I want to do something different? So what are you going to do? What you want to do? Gosh, you got a major headache now from this. Like, oh man, my head hurts from that. That's why my third eye is just like, dang, my head hurts because this is really racking your brains. Energy brains. Okay. You have this is new. You're having a post-traumatic stress experience that is astral related. And there's echoes upon echoes, trillions of echoes of all the memories of the projected holographic yous that existed. And it's freaking you the living daylights out. Because you don't know how to be human and understand it. So what I'm gonna do, let me see, they're saying no to that. They say feel safe then with it. What I was gonna do was I was gonna take all those echoes and put it in a safe space that would allow you to just work through them as you're ready. over however many lifetimes it takes. But they're saying not to contain it, and in a way disconnect it, but to allow you to feel safe with all the memories is going to be a much better approach. Allow you to feel safe. So it's interesting because it's something beautiful is happening here. This is taking us to the Andromedan. There's total Andromedan energy going on here. Because there's a beautiful female, suddenly, when I say feel safe, you're basically sitting in this like awesome meditative like position. You're in a beautiful grassy area, and there's beautiful sounds of birds, and there's butterflies, and there's this female energy, and she's oh man, she's lovely. She's like as innocent and as alive as all the plants and the butterflies and the sunlight and the everything that is alive. She is also alive, and she is aligned with it, super balanced, and she's very cute, like very childlike and playful, like very sweet and innocent, and she's a fully grown woman, okay, but she's more like she emanates being more like 15, even if she was 200 years old. She's very like this, okay? And she's turning all these echoes that have been creating an overwhelming like astral trauma thing. Your human self has to digest that, so it could throw you off on a human level until that's complete. But she's helping the echoes you to cope with them by turning them into butterflies. And so they kind of fly around you, but they're very pretty. And this is supportive. But unfortunately now it's bringing you back into the chair, and you're reliving the memory, and you're scared of it. You're overwhelmed by it, and you start to cry, and you get upset with yourself. And I say, why do that? Why get upset with yourself? I want you to answer the question, why get upset with yourself? Oh man, it's hard to breathe. Were you dumb? Were you stupid? You should be ashamed of yourself. Why in the world would you do that to yourself? Why did you let boredom get the best of you? Who's saying that? Ego. Why are you upset with yourself? Do you need to be? No judgment. You say, I put myself through a lot of hardship. For what? Say, maybe you put yourself through a lot of hardship so that you could decide to stop doing that. Sometimes we need to put ourselves through the ringer in order to say, wow, why am I putting myself through the ringer when I don't have to? Maybe we need to go through the ringer in order to just stop going through the ringer. You know what I mean? Like maybe you just needed that in order to learn that you want to love yourself now. This is your third eye. I mean, I feel weak in my arms. I feel my throat, my emotional gut. I feel strange in places, okay? I feel weird in places. And it's all like vibrations that are kind of fluttering, and there's so many echoes of how you became many yous and many existences. All in a moment that comes back to yourself, slaps you back to earth, and now bam, you're back at square one as though it never happened. It's freaking you out because you're human. And the astral stuff, that other level stuff, has to be digested and processed. That's where psychic development comes in. That gives you the ability as a human being to take a look inside yourself and to start sifting through this for yourself. Say, I want to know me. I want to know what I'm doing in other parts of the universe. I want to know my future, past lives. I want to know more about time. I want to meet my higher self and spirit guides. I want to do this stuff. That's what I've been wanting to do all along. So now that I created this, now I have something juicy and interesting to actually investigate, learn about, heal from, and grow. And love myself that much more. Now we're starting to shift back to the reality where you were with this in this Andromedan space all along. There's this beautiful female energy here. It's like she's been here with you all along, never left you. So it's interesting because we could sit in the same spot and we could move through realities. We don't move at all, but we shift our vibrational connection with realities to move through realities. And so when you're scared and you're reliving the memory, it shoots you back to that place where you were. But then when you start to feel peaceful and safe, it brings you to what has always been there, which is yet another overlapping reality that's quite peaceful. So you get to choose to be in the reality of fear or the reality of safety and security. Or you can be, I guess, in both. What would that be like? Both places at once, happy and terrified at the same time. How does that work? I'd say that's actually quite normal. Like, we're all living in a harmonious heaven, but for some reason, they're showing me the overlay is what our human reality is. We decide what that is. And we're choosing, a lot of us feel the grimy misery, the challenge. We're trying to be optimistic in a difficult time. It's always a difficult time. When will it ever be not so hard anymore? Maybe next year, maybe 10 years from now, But all along, we're existing in heaven. So when are we going to let go? And just trust fall right into heaven. The heaven that's always been there. It takes us back to, do I want drama or do I want angels? Why does love have to be so hard? I could get a quick fix here with a little bit of drama. But then the drama becomes the addiction, becomes the next hell. All along, we just wanted the love. All right, that's what I have to share. Thank you so much for that. One of a kind experience. Thank you very much. That was intense. That was complicated, complex, unique. So many different sides, so many different angles. Just be proud of who you are. Be proud of the choices that you've made. Own it, that you were the one that sat in that chair and had those holographic realities that just all came back to you. Be proud to know what it's like. Be proud of that. Don't reject yourself. Be proud of yourself. Now decide what's next, right? Spend some time healing yourself, developing some abilities. You're going to know in your heart what you're ready for. And maybe you're ready for more drama. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we don't know how to not want that. I don't know. Subconsciously, in my mind, I know what I really want, but then I have this other me, these many other me's that just attract problems. Why can't, it's so interesting. We're so dynamic. Human beings, we're so dynamic. And we're everywhere. We're all over the place. Thank you very much for that. Give yourself a hug. Love yourself. Be proud of who you are. All right, everybody, thank you for watching from beginning to end. I know that's a long session, but it's so worth it, isn't it? Okay, have a wonderful day. Thank you all again. Appreciate all your love and support here.